Have you ever felt like you should rest and you know you should rest, you know you should take a break, but you're afraid that you're gonna fall behind? Well, that's what today's video is about. It's been 2 years since I have posted on this channel. I have been taking a break for good reason. And so we're gonna talk about it today and why Black women actually need to take a break. So I'm Coach Tish, so happy to see you. Welcome back. If this is our first time meeting, I am a coach, alignment coach, and I work with Black women to help them increase their energy after working in corporate all day so that they can do more of the work that they've been called to do, less of the work they have not been called to do, and somehow manage to not sacrifice their minds, their bodies, or their joy in the process. So let's get into it. So as you may or may not know, 7 years ago, I moved to Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And it has had its ups and downs in terms of my joy with the experience, okay? Most of the time I have really enjoyed the experience, but every now and again I have found myself feeling bored. Wondering if this is actually where I'm supposed to be, if there's something else I'm supposed to be doing. And every time I go off traveling, doing new things, seeing the world, I find myself coming right back here. So when we think about being a Black woman in corporate, this year makes 20 years that I have worked in corporate America. I cannot believe it. But when we think about being a Black woman in corporate, the truth is we need seasons. Okay, we need seasons to rebuild our energy so that we can go to the next level. We need a pause, we need a break, we need the ability to gather our resources, right? Fill up our stores of energy, that is, and get ready to go to our next place. Now, corporate, for the most part, is not like, higher education. But let me be clear, higher education is also a part of corporate America. America is one big corporation at the end of the day. When it comes to working in these corporations, one of the things that we believe, that we have been told, and that we have seen, is that being constantly available, constantly open for access, constantly accessible, makes it certain that we will be successful. Okay, so that's what we've been told in corporate. And so I too was told that. Okay, I too have heard that. I too have practiced that, right? I too have been afraid that if I don't show up on social media, if I don't make these videos, I am going to be forgotten. People are going to forget about me. That is a lie from the pit of hell. The truth is, in the 2 years I have not posted, more of you have joined, more of you have followed me, more of you have reached out to me, made comments on the videos that were here, and I appreciate you. And even though I did have a fear that I would lose momentum, what I recognized is something wasn't right, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. And I know most people just act like nothing is going on, or they try to do work in spite of whatever's going on with them. But that's not the kind of person, that's not the kind of woman I am, and that's not the kind of person that I wanted to show up on this channel as. That's not the kind of example that I wanted to set. So I may have been a little bit more active on other platforms, and that's why it's important that you follow me on multiple platforms. But the truth is, for the last couple of years, I've been tapping into and digging into, really, who am I? Who am I? Who do I want to be? Where am I going? Where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Right? Really asking myself the tough questions that I didn't have answers for. I needed to take a break. I needed to step away. I needed to find my footing and create balance for myself so that I could understand who I am, so that I could walk flat-footed and sure in that. Now, let me be clear. I still got some questions. All the questions have not been answered. Everything is not clear, but I am definitely a lot more clear now than I was before. One of the other things that was missing for me, that was not you. I mean, if you didn't know me, you wouldn't know this. My energy was trash. When I showed up on camera, it was almost like lights, camera, action, and I would perform, right? I would show up with high energy, but I was really and truly showing up with more energy than I actually had. And I did not know how to create more energy for myself. And so when I was recording, actually doing the most recording, at that point, I had left Playa del Carmen and I was traveling the world. I had one suitcase, one backpack, and I spent some time in Colombia. I spent some time in Europe. I went to the North Sea Jazz Festival in the Netherlands. I spent a week in Paris. I went on a cruise with my homegirl in Croatia. I did a lot of traveling. And I did all of that traveling really to come back to Playa. This is my home. And in the midst of all that traveling, right, on Instagram and on Facebook, it looked so exciting. And it was, I had a good time, but there was something missing for me inside, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't have physical energy. I didn't have mental or emotional energy. I wasn't excited about life. And so what I thought was, well, maybe if I keep traveling, right? All these other well-traveled people, they seem excited. They seem like they've got it going on. Maybe if I keep traveling, I'll find my excitement. That's not what happened. I still work a full-time corporate job. It's remote, but at the time of this recording, I still work a corporate job. And when I was doing all that traveling, I was still working a corporate job then too. And most days, once I finished doing my work, I would be laying across the bed, watching TV, watching Netflix or Hulu or something. Every now and again, I might get out. Definitely when I was in Colombia, because there was a group of Black women there, unlike any other. A few of them actually came to stay in Playa. But besides that, most of the places that I went, after I would take a couple of photos, but after my workday was done, I was in bed. During the week, because the time zone was so different, it would be 8 a.m. Central, 2 p.m. European time, whatever that time was. So I would wake up in the mornings and stay in bed. I wouldn't walk around much. I'd order food, order some breakfast, start working, order some lunch, finish working around 10 o'clock, and maybe stay up on my phone watching YouTube or Instagram, go to sleep, 2, 3 in the morning, wake up around 10, start all over again. I didn't have any energy left to perform for the camera. I just didn't have it. And so when we think about what's really required in order to feel grounded and centered in your body, in order for me to feel grounded and centered in my body, I had to figure out what was going on and what was missing. And what did I need? Because I had no idea. And because I live this life that looks so glamorous, most people couldn't see past the glamour to be even of help to me. So either you had folks who weren't living the life, and I couldn't talk to them because they would sideways be telling me how grateful I should be or how blessed I am, right? Or I had people who were living the same life and they just weren't self-aware enough to know, or they weren't connected to themselves enough to know that there was something better than the experience that we were all having. Or maybe they weren't having that experience. Maybe they were just fine. I met plenty of folk who were just fine. That wasn't really my truth. I wasn't just fine. I was okay. I was making it. Even though I was traveling the world and working remote, I still work in corporate America. And that takes a lot out of you. The microaggressions over email, in the Zoom meetings. I still experience that. And so, yeah, I was in the world and I still had little to no energy after the day was done. So what did I learn? I learned that even though I thought I needed to be on the grind and be hustling to keep my subscribers up and to build my community, what I realized is this virtual community is important. And I love that you all are here. And in addition to you all, I need actual community in my life. I need people who I can invite over for sandwiches or coffee, Cuban coffee. I need people who I can call up and say, hey, I'm making kombucha. Or, hey, I just cooked, come over for lunch. I need actual people in my life. I love my virtual community, and I need both. I can't just focus on one, place all my attention on one, and have none of the other. That's not gonna work. That does not work long term. So when it comes to the concern of, won't people forget about me if I take a break? Won't I lose everything that I've gained? The truth is, no, they won't. People who forgot about you, you probably weren't that important to them in the first place. People who remember, who value you, they're gonna ask about you. They're gonna check on you. And if you have aligned values and not just shared interests, you're gonna see those people somewhere else. I bumped into many of you all at Exodus Summit, Job Liberation Summit. You all saw me and welcomed me with open arms, and I am so grateful. Thank you. And I just want to let you know, I'm back. Welcome. So get ready to hear more about how we can get our energy back. Some of the things that I've done to help me build my energy, especially as it relates to my physical energy after working in corporate all damn day. I have gone through some things and I've got more energy than I know what to do with. So I am very excited to be here with you and back recording again. One of the things that I have tapped into are my guided meditations. These meditations are super amazing, if I say so myself. They have definitely helped me with building up that what they call intrinsic motivation, or that internal motivation. And so I actually recorded one on anger. So I'm going to invite you to take a listen and let me know what you think. I'll see y'all in the next video.